Women empowerment seems to have assumed an added dimension in Nigeria following the far-reaching impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and the long-standing stereotypes which have kept the women folk at the periphery of economic and political participation. But helping hands are emerging critically from Nigerian women themselves, some of them demonstrating a willingness to commit their time and resources to the cause. Right now, we're being joined for a quick conversation around this by Nancy Taye Aragbaye, a business development expert who has empowered female-owned businesses in Nigeria up to the tune of 40 million naira. That's impressive. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you having me here.
Impressive number, by the way.
Yes, definitely. Please, can you tell us what inspired you to get into this line of work of inspiring women to build their businesses?
Well, specifically, I noticed I was an educator for some years, and I noticed there was a gap in the education system, one that did not specifically teach business development, nor did it teach leadership development. And when I thought about a world where we're truly driving economic mobility, I understood that women play a critical role. We need families to drive the economy. We need families to acquire wealth. And I was like, we have to have women be a part. And so I knew and I understood that businesses is what truly drives economic mobility. We create jobs and we create stability. So I just knew that I had to, and I'm also a person who doesn't wait for change. I create change. So I said, I need to develop a program that's specifically for my country. I'm Nigerian American, but I said, I'm not a Nigerian in America by chance. What can I do? And so I developed the program, the Leadership Expo, which is directly aimed at empowering women. I knew that finances is one thing, but for me, the most important, which I'm most excited about, is the one-year development. So they'll have mentoring and leadership development to empower their businesses and ultimately create jobs within the community.
All right, awesome. Quite exciting.
Pretty awesome.
Journey you've actually undertaken.
Thank you so much.
Let me ask a question now concerning, because entrepreneurship has become the latest fad.
Yes.
Everyone wants to start and own a business.
Yes, they do.
But I'm happy to hear that you have emphasized on leadership.
Yes.
Do you by any chance tell some women that not everyone can actually run a business? Everyone should own a business, I believe, but not everyone can run a business. That probably working in a corporate organization or working under somebody is still very okay in the 21st century.
Well, one, I think people have a misunderstanding of what a business is. And I tell people, it's one thing to be self-employed, and it's another thing to have an operating business.
Okay.
And when you have a business, it's people. You have a team of individuals, and the business is able to run without you. And you're not able to do that if you cannot effectively lead. And so I tell people, before you can lead others, you have to first learn to lead yourself and master yourself and master your own vision. And that's why I emphasize on leadership development so much. It is critical and fundamental to leading an effective business.
Wow, okay. Good one.
Thank you.
How long has this organization been running for? For lack of a better term. And what do you have to say for the men folk? Not to forget them. They often get.
Great question. So my company has been around for 3 years.
Yeah.
However, the leadership initiative is brand new. We developed it in about 11 months, under a year. And again, it was just a vision from the Lord. I'm big on the Lord and God. And so it's the first of its kind. We're going to track the effectiveness and measure it. But when you say, what about men? We actually had an expo last night, and we had a man on the panel, and I had him speak about the importance of women in leadership. And I was glad that he mentioned how women do play a critical role, and we have this incredible ability to get things done. It just is what it is. And so for me, my hope is that men can support and be allies in this initiative, because it's not putting men against women, but it's about how do we understand that women are important and play a vital role in truly driving economic mobility and rebuilding Nigeria and rebuilding Africa. We need men to support.
All right, let's talk about the empowerment to what you're doing, and it's actually very exciting, and learning that you've actually given out as much as 40 million naira to people. What are the criteria you actually look for to say this is an investable business and this is a business we should probably back and support?
So, for example, last night we just had a pitch competition.
Okay.
We went through many pitches, and for me, it was one that I can see growing and expanding pretty quickly. And so, again, we're investing our funds, but we would like to see the businesses be able to create jobs and create revenue.
Is it equity free? It's with a caveat, or it's just outright support?
It's outright support.
Okay, that's good to know.
It's outright support.
Okay, I just wanted to clear that one up. Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, and so we looked at the overall just scope of the project and its scalability. That's a big thing for me. Again, yes, there's great business ideas, but is it scalable? Does it have the potential to create jobs? That's my biggest thing. There's so many people that are even graduating here in Nigeria and they don't have work, especially the youth. And so I'm like, we need to create jobs, and that was a big thing for me. Also, we looked at the overall the CV of the woman, just trying to understand like who they are. I got to meet them yesterday. They were all very coachable, which was amazing. And so that's just the key things that we look for. Are you coachable? And then does your business have the potential to scale and create jobs for others?
Wow, fantastic.
And is it all through the nation, or have you picked a couple states? How? Because it's quite a lot.
So Lagos specifically for the pitch competition. This is our first year, so I was like, let's make it easier, like from a logistical standpoint. However, we have worked with organizations in Ondo State, specifically schools, and Ekiti State. Excuse my American accent.
You're all right.
And so we're helping those organizations. Education, again, is a big thing for me. So how do we support the schools, because those are organizations, and also empower the youth there so then they too can grow and understand the potential that they have.
All right, you spoke about education. Let's actually vista into that. So
Yes,
understanding
let's
that,
talk
how
about
important is education to running a business?
I think it's fundamental. I have this vision for education, not only in Nigeria. I would love for it to start in Nigeria because we're the most influential country, African country in the entire world.
Yeah.
But when I think about business, I think it's a critical. It's critical to have it in the curriculum. Everyone's not going to be a business owner, just like everyone's not going to be a doctor. But children need to understand that they can effectively create businesses that can employ their community. Secondly, I think leadership should be in the curriculum. Like, how are we teaching empathy? How are we teaching service? Do our children understand that? Because our children of today are our leaders of tomorrow. So if we're not properly preparing them, I'm like, what are we really doing?
Okay.
So well said. And I would love to continue this conversation, but we've run out of time. And we wish you much success in your efforts.
So much.
And thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure having you today.
Thank you so much.
All right.